I mean, this village is a very old village, and we have different clans staying in the village. So it is a fortified village. At one point of time, all the villagers used to be inside the fort. This is the last Munba village. So it is bounded by different several other tribes, and because of that, in olden days maybe there were a lot of wars between different tribes. So they used to have what do you call foolproof security. For that reason, they have built this fort. So it used to be closed at 5 p.m. in the evening, and before that there used to be a loud shout that whoever want to come inside, they can come. Whoever wants to go out, they can go outside. So after that, the young boys will be protecting the fort with bows and arrows, and they will be doing a round near the fort. And this fort used to have a lot of slabs, stone slabs on top of it. So anybody tries to climb up, then the slab will fall on them and they will be killed instantly. This is the southern gate, and one point of time used to be a very very big battleground for war between other tribes and our people. And also at one point of time in 1962, this used to be a big battleground between India and China. And Chinese, once they were stopped near Sela Pass, after that they have taken this route called Belly Trail, which starts from here, and they have come down to Thembang, and from here they have gone to Bomdila, and they have I think captured people from our Indian army between Bomdila and Sela Pass. And there were a lot of armies, both Indian and Chinese armies, who are dead in this particular ground. This village is also nominated for World Heritage Site by UNESCO. And after that, we have Thembang Heritage Committee. So the committee, the Heritage Committee, decided that the building should not be constructed in the new village, as in new new house with new design should not be constructed in the fort. Arunachal is a place, basically more than 60% of the land belongs to the community. Although it is considered as USF, but de facto the control is under the rights of the local people. So Thembang, because of old history, a lot of area also still being under the direct control of the villagers of Thembang. So because of that, we have decided to, the villagers actually have decided to declare part of their forest area as a conservation area. So it's called CCA. So CCA is basically community conserved area, and they have done socio-economic survey. They have done biodiversity survey. They have documented all the areas, all the places where hunting and all these illegal activities is going on. And after that, there are some few youths selected for monitoring and patrolling the places. And sometimes this committee also sends them for checking out if there are any illegal activities going on in the forest. Long time back in 1912, there was this man called Lieutenant Colonel F.M. Bailey. He was an officer of British Survey of India. So he went for Changpo exploration to Tibet, and while coming down, he has come down to Thembang from Tibet. So because of that, this particular route which falls in our area is known as Belly Trail. And knowing this, there are a lot of European tourists, foreign tourists, they come here asking for this particular Belly Trail. And we have under the incentive program for conservation, we have started rural tourism in Thembang. With that, we have homestays, home restaurant, and there are people who are engaged as guide. Some are engaged as cook, some are engaged as porter and ponyman. And the tourists who are willing to stay here overnight, they will stay in a homestay. And suppose they are just coming for a day trip, then they can have food in home restaurant. And sometimes if they are willing to go for a trekking, a short trek, then they can hire a guide. Sometimes tourists also ask for a long trekking program. So that time we organize Belly Trail, and during Belly Trail we will provide all the camping materials. And we have this tent manager. He is basically in charge of whole tenting and camping inside the Belly Trail. And the revenues also goes to the corpus fund of the Conservation Area Management Committee. And these villagers also earn by providing different activities. Some earns by being the guide, some earns by being the cook helper, and different activities they are engaged into. This is one of the homestays which was developed under the incentive program for the conservation initiative in the village. Although we have not done large-scale marketing of the tourism activities in the village, but there are a number of tourists coming into the village that we used to see in our earlier days. Now these are all stopped or kind of going to end. So because of that, we are trying to revive some of the sports, games and sport which used to be there in earlier days, and also some of the rituals, some of the traditional things that also we are trying to highlight in the form of festival. So every year we have Thembang Heritage Festival held in the village to basically conserve those dying traditional rituals and, for example, games and sports and all those things.